To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, thank you for your priceless blessings, for your divine light, divine love, divine power, divine healing, guidance, mercy, help, and protection. Thank you. To our great spiritual teacher, to all the great spiritual teachers, to all the great gods and goddesses, to all the great, great ones, we very, very humbly thank you for your great blessings. We thank you so much. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you so much. All right. So, let's talk about before we go forward in today's session. Let's talk about something interesting. See, spiritual progress, or rather improvement in any area of your life, will be concerned with three major aspects. First is called purity in thoughts, purity in words, purity in actions. Okay. For some of us, purity in thoughts and purity in actions is easier, but purity in speech is not easier. For some of us, it's the other way around. Purity in say, actions is easier, in words easier, but mind runs wherever it has to run. Okay. For some of us, it's mind and speech are easier, but actions are wherever they are. Actions are right. Or sometimes nothing is easier actually. Just actions are controlled because of manners, but mind and words are running wherever they have to run. Sometimes what happens is that certain triggers come in our life and the speech just starts to be on an automatic mode without any control, right, of the soul on speech. Gossip is one such a tendency. Malice and slander are other such tendencies. They create very bad, irresponsible forms in the inner world when you speak thoughtlessly or when you think thoughtlessly. It creates very, very bad looking forms in the inner world. A spiritual progress can almost never come to a person. This is almost like a written, not even unwritten, a written law that purification of speech, thoughts, and actions, which by the way create forms in the inner world, is mandatory for you to attain self knowledge, right? Um, before we, like in today's session, after we do the invocation and soul formation, we will specifically acknowledge or take note of things that we're doing which may be. So if you're a non-pranic healer, if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, take note of the most impure aspects of your life. Okay. If you know what I'm talking about, if you're a heartic practitioner or above, you would know that I'm talking about creation of unwholesome entities because of thoughts, because of speech, right? And by the way, because of actions also, right? So you will take note closer about those things, all right? Let's start. And then I will guide you further, okay? Beware the heart and the crown chakra. Say, Lord God, thank you for filling my heart chakra and my crown chakra with substance of love. Again, say, Lord God, thank you for filling my heart chakra and my crown chakra with substance of love. Once again, Lord God, thank you for filling my heart chakra and my crown chakra with substance of love. Now, be aware of the crown chakra. I am not the body. I am not the emotions or the thoughts. I am not the mind. The mind is just an instrument of the soul. I am the soul. I am the soul. I'm a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I'm connected in one with my higher soul. I'm connected in one with my divine spark. I'm connected in one with God. Connected in one with all. All right. Be aware of the heart and the crown chakra. Say, Lord God, thank you for blessing me with awareness, with self honesty, and the will to transform myself. Lord God, thank you for blessing me with awareness, with self honesty, and the will to transform myself. Again, Lord God, thank you for blessing me with awareness, with self honesty, and the will to transform myself. Now, what we will do today is we will do our best to be aware of, like I mentioned, either you have like the out of the thoughts, speech, or the actions, whichever is the area which is the most, shall we use the word, not so not so clearly developed, rather. That's a better way to say, yeah. Which means that either you have a loose tongue, it slips into criticism, gossip. Um, you start talking dirty jokes, bad speech in multiple forms, or like, or it slips into anger, for example, things like that, right? Like you lose control over your speech, over certain triggers. You have to observe that. Or your mind starts to judge, your mind starts to compare, your mind starts to um, you know um, whatever else is there, mind starts to criticize. My mind basically goes in an automatic mode, starts to worry. All of that, when you do proper understanding, you will realize that there are certain weaknesses of the mind itself, right? In the way it perceives situation and starts to do on its own. Speech, mind, and then actions also. Actions, most people's actions, I think, are reasonably good, so I don't think there is a problem at all. But let's just work on speech and the mind today. And let's try and see which are the weak areas in speech, which are the weak areas in mind. Pick only one of them, not everything exact, and then explore the tendency. I want you to really explore this properly, because I will assure to you, if you properly are able to cleanse one portion of whatever we're talking about it, the correction of the soul will become substantially stronger. Substantially strong, actually. It's just a matter of identifying it and removing the tendency itself. All right? Go through it. Explore the area very thoroughly. Observe. All right. I hope you guys have observed sufficiently as to what is a weaker. I'll give you a couple of minutes more, by the way. Observe better as to how your speech or how your mind slips into the old tendencies. You have to really spend time in observing it. Your power of observation will give you power to remove it. If you not, don't observe it properly, it may not really be of much benefit, I will assure to you. After a while, any spiritual progress is only and only about how deeply are you observant. If that part is not there, just practicing techniques will be like empty. There will be nothing much will become which will come out. I'm just very serious about it. You have to understand this, by the way. First few initiations are connected to cleansing. उसके बाद things are about building, but building is done by the soul and not by the mind. So that is your work is to cleanse. Simple. I'll give you a couple of minutes more. All right. Now, what we will do today in the form of cleansing this, when I will use the word tendency, you will replace it with your own specific tendency that you are trying to get rid of. For example, you can, when I say the word, okay, tendency, you will say in your mind or verbally, the tendency to criticize or tendency to judge or to speak unethical, dirty words or whatever your tendencies, I don't know. So you will speak something of that exact type along with me, and yeah, we will try to see if it can be raised properly. All right. Imagine the great sun in front of you. By the way, much of this will ideally go away once you begin to resist it at the time when it's hitting the most. I'll again repeat it. It'll actually make the most amount of impact when you start to resist the tendency when it's actually happening. For example, if you have a tendency to worry a lot, and if it is actually happening at that exact time, and you're okay, I'll not worry, I'll think. or I'll not criticize, I'll investigate more, or I'll ask a few more questions. I'll not judge the person. In fact, I'll go ask their story of success. I'll not be jealous or envious, for example, but I'll blah blah blah. Or I'll abstain from speaking anything dirty or or unwholesome or in anger. I will breathe it out, but I will not give it to the tendency. So this is where the most major development will actually happen. This is soul saying, okay, enough. I will not give in to those tendencies anymore. This is something which is absolutely important lesson in spiritual path. Incredibly important lesson in the spiritual path. If you understand this, I think life will become much easier, much more sorted. All right. Now imagine the great sun and say along with me. Say to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, thank you for completely extracting out this tendency from my entire system, and please offer all of these to the great Sun God. Thank you for disintegrating them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, thank you for completely extracting out the tendency from my entire system, and please sacrifice all this to the great Sun God. Thank you for burning it. Thank you. One more time, to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, thank you for completely extracting out all the energies of the tendency from my entire system, and please sacrifice all this to the great Sun God. I thank you so much. I thank you so much. Let's invoke for a blessing, after which I hope it is enough time. Yeah. We'll just take a minute or two more. I hope we invoke for the blessing properly, and then we spend a couple of minutes trying to visualize what will we do when the trigger comes. Okay. Now say, Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, please bless me with self-control. Bless me with the control of the higher soul over my chakras, over my bodies, my tendencies, and my nature. Please bless me with tremendous control of the great self over the lower self. Please bless me greater control of the soul over the mind, the soul over the speech, and the soul over the actions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I'd like all of you to visualize that in that one situation or that kind of a trigger, what will you do instead of whatever you do usually? Clearly visualize and affirm over and over again, yes, I will do exactly this from now on. All right, let's do a closing prayer to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother. Thank you for your great blessings. Thank you so much to our great spiritual teacher, to all the great spiritual teachers, to all the great gods and goddesses, to all the great, great ones. We incredibly humbly thank you for your great blessings. We thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you tomorrow. Take care. God bless all of you. I hope this session actually helped all of you.